not appropriate.
Oh, mercy!
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
In the Bronx, New York, the Orioles and the Yankees open it up.
Yankee Stadium opening day, managing the big leagues for the first time. It's an awesome day.
Ground ball, he's got it. Goes to go home. There's one relay to first, and they get a huge double play. Goes in the gap, right center field. Gardner Judge looking, it hits the wall. It'll get a run in, and got him to go after one out of the strike zone. Good inning for Yacobonis. 2-2 delivery on the way, and a towering fly ball left field. That is way back, and goodbye, home run. Who need analytics when you got a manager who looks at matchups? Chopper short, that's going to be a base hit and an RBI. So Smith gets it done. 1-2 strike count. Judge waiting on it. It goes after a pitch away. And Means gets another big out. Down the line, right field. Judge going back. Judge looking. And it wasn't a good idea. Goodbye, home run. They choose to pitch to Joey Rickard, who has made a career out of hitting left-handers. 1-2 delivery by Fry. Went around, and they got him, and that's the ball game. Tulowitzki strikes out to end it, and the Orioles come away with a 7-5 win, and they take 2 out of 3. Wow.
Wow is right, Jim Palmer. What a weekend for the Orioles. Welcome into MASN All Access. I'm your host, Paul Mancano. The O's took 2 of 3 from the Yankees Saturday and Sunday in the Bronx. They are over 500. They're 2-1 on the season. They go to Toronto to take on the Blue Jays in a series starting tonight. But let's talk about that amazing series in the Bronx. On MASN All Access today, we're going to talk about Trey Mancini, Jesus Sucre, some of the guys that shone offensively for the O's. And of course, we got to talk about that bullpen. It was outstanding. Who were the standouts? You saw John Means up there. He got his first career big league win. We'll touch on him and some of the other guys there. But first, it was a weekend full of firsts, starting with the opening day roster. 8 of the guys on the opening day roster are new to the Orioles. 11 of those guys were there for the first time. 2 guys over the weekend made their major league debuts. That would be the 2 Rule 5 picks, Drew Jackson and Richie Martin. And Brandon Hyde, of course, the big story, managed his first 3 games at the major league level. And Saturday was his first win with the Orioles and his first win as a big league manager. And his team, well, they threw him quite the party.
Right delivery to him, and that's the ball game. And the Orioles get a 5-3 win. And for Brandon Hyde, his first win as a major league manager. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Yeah, as you can see, I'm
You smell good, though. I like it.
Do I?
I think that's a local brew. Local brew.
Things, yeah, no doubt. I don't know what the smell is, but whatever it is, I'll take it.
They made you wait for that one, didn't they?
No doubt. I mean, hey, winning in the big leagues is hard, and what I've talked a lot about is celebrate every win, and because it's not easy, and it's a really good team, and just really proud of how our guys played. I felt like we were aggressive offensively, and just how about the job by all our guys on the mound, and just an outstanding, Mike Wright after a tough day a couple days ago to come in and me put him in that kind of situation and come out of it like he did, just fantastic.
And I thought Sucre on both ends of it, at the plate and behind it, had a day, huh?
How about Rio Ruiz at third, too? A lot of good things defensively. But, yeah, Sucre with a big day offensively and defensively. He does such a great job of commanding the staff and getting guys to navigate through innings. And that was a veteran. That's a veteran catcher that has caught games in AL East. And it's what these games are like. And so we'd love to have him.
So give us a little rundown what happened when you got the win, shook hands, and started back to the clubhouse.
Well, I got a little bit of water, and then I got called out, and we celebrated a little bit, and I got pushed in a cart and into the bathroom, and then got showered with who knows what. So I enjoyed every second of it. Yeah.
Enjoy the rest of the night.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Skip.
Now, I think I speak for a lot of Orioles fans when I say that is awesome to see. The culture, the fun that is budding within this Orioles clubhouse. A lot of young guys, a lot of guys who are getting their first taste of Major League ball. It's awesome to see them rally around their manager like that. They're already having fun. The pressure is off for this O's team, and they're really soaking it in. Well, let's get to the standouts on the field over the weekend as the Orioles took 2 of 3 from the Yankees. Beginning with Jimmy Yacobonis. Take a look at his stats from the weekend. They're not mind-blowing. 3 innings, he allowed 1 run on 3 hits, couple of strikeouts, couple of walks, but he looked the part of a major league pitcher and potentially maybe down the road a major league starter. Now, he only threw 2 different kinds of pitches in those 3 innings, his fastball and his slider. He has a changeup, but he didn't use it over the weekend. Now, that slider was especially effective, and it had the Yankees looking silly, and here's why. So his fastball is solid. It averages 94 miles an hour, but that slider usually tends to average about 84 miles per hour at the big league level, but not over the weekend. It averaged 80.5 miles an hour. Now, that is a huge difference. At one point over the weekend in a game, he had Aaron Judge down, and he struck him out on back-to-back pitches going slider then fastball, 79 miles an hour to 96 miles an hour. That huge difference makes all the difference for Jimmy Yacobonis. He looked awesome, and that's certainly an encouraging sign. Another standout in the bullpen would be Mike Wright Jr. Now, this season is of utmost importance for Mike Wright Jr. He's 29 years old. He's out of options, but he impressed over the weekend. He had 1.2 innings pitched over that weekend, 1 inning and then 2/3 of an inning. He allowed 1 hit batter, 1 walk, and struck out 3 and did not allow a run. His fastball averaged over 95 miles an hour. We know he has good stuff. It's always been there. It's just been the command. But after his solid performances this weekend, he met with the media.
I mean, it was awesome. The atmosphere was obviously electric. You know, their fans are really into it. And, you know, we were searching for Hyde's first win and our first win as a team, and that was just exciting to be a part of that.
First save, what's that like?
Yeah, obviously that was in the back of my mind. I don't know if you could tell, I was a little pumped, a little jacked, obviously for the team, but also for myself, obviously. But, again, it was just a good team win.
Now let's talk about somebody who doesn't throw that hard. John Means, he notched his first career victory at the big league level over the weekend. He doesn't throw that hard, only 92 miles an hour on his fastball. He did allow Dylan Bundy's runs to score. They weren't charged to him, they were charged to Bundy, so that inflated his ERA. So he had his worst work spots that he needs to work through, but he did strike out Giancarlo on 3 straight pitches, 3 straight swinging strikes. And in the 6th inning of that game, he struck out Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton back-to-back with runners on first base and second base on Sunday. And now, he didn't light the world on fire in the minor leagues. He was never expected to be a starter on this team, and probably not expected by many to be a bullpen piece even with this Orioles team. But he certainly struggled, as mentioned, at times. But if he can give you solid innings, John Means coming out of the bullpen, maybe being the long reliever, that'll give Brandon Hyde some options as well. Well, there's the pitching side. Let's talk about the offense, because it was pretty awesome the the 2 games of that series, the Saturday and Sunday games, starting with Trey Mancini, because he's 6 for his first 13 on the season, including a home run and a double. He was awesome. This could be a breakout year potentially for Trey Mancini, and the Orioles are certainly hoping he carries the load for them offensively. But beyond Trey Mancini, the Orioles got offense from some unexpected characters. Jesus Sucre, he was billed as a defense-first, or rather defense-only catcher when he came to the O's. He's already got 3 hits and 3 RBIs in 2 games. And how about Dwight Smith Jr., guy that was really never talked about in spring training? He was traded from the Blue Jays for international bonus slot signing money, and he's got 5 hits in his first 11 at-bats and a couple of RBIs. Now, Mancini, as mentioned, he was expected to carry the load offensively, but Sucre and Smith, yeah, not so much. But it'll definitely help Brandon Hyde, and it'll help this offense if he can get production from guys like Sucre, Smith, and other unexpected people. Now, it wasn't all good for the Orioles over the weekend. There were certainly some causes for concern, starting with Dylan Bundy. He really struggled, walked 5 batters, just about 3 innings pitched on Sunday. Part of that, though, could be due to the fact that he was waiting around for 3 hours. There was a 3+ hour rain delay on Sunday, and as you may remember, Jay Happ struggled as well for the Yankees, so not a little bit too early, I would say, to make some huge decisions based on how Dylan Bundy performed in his first appearance of the season. And the other major concern would be this. The Orioles used a heck of a lot of pitchers over the weekend. Brandon Hyde had to give the ball to a lot of different guys. The O's used 4 pitchers on Thursday, 6 pitchers on Saturday, and 4 pitchers on Sunday. That's 14 pitchers, if you did the math there, in a 3-game series. That just is not sustainable. But he does have a lot of guys waiting down in the minor leagues that he can bring up at a moment's notice. If any one of these guys gets overworked, at least the O's have some options. Just in Norfolk alone, they have Josh Rogers, Tanner Scott, Gabriel Ynoa, Jeffrey Ramirez, Luis Ortiz, and Evan Phillips. All of those guys have seen work at the major league level with the Orioles in the past, so they have some options if they want to bring up somebody and help them out. However, they are going to need a lot more from their starting rotation, get deeper into games, and give that bullpen just a little bit of a rest. All right, now it's time to give myself a rest, and let's throw it over to MASNsports.com's Rock Kabako. Now we welcome in Rock Kabako of MASNsports.com, of course, the Orioles beat writer. Rock, you were there in the Bronx this weekend. First and foremost, how many do you think predicted the Orioles taking 2 of 3 from the Yankees in opening weekend?
You mean while being outscored and walking 22 batters? I'm going to say very few people saw that coming.
Yeah.
I mean, what it showed us is that, they're going to have to work really, really hard, especially against these elite teams, to win games. And I don't know if you can sustain that, but right now you don't overthink it. If you're a fan, you enjoy it. But, man, you saw what it required. I mean, the aggression on the base paths, the win on Saturday, they used 6 pitchers. Dylan Bundy only goes 3 2/3 yesterday, and baton gets passed again. I don't know if John Means can always give up 1 run and 3 1/3, but he did it yesterday. Michael Givens, back-to-back, and he throws a career-high 49 pitches yesterday. You don't want his arm falling off. I mean, it was a lot of work to get those 2 wins, but they did it. And, the last thing you want is to go home 0-6 for your home opener. So, I don't think Brandon Hyde's going to manage every game like it's Game 7, but he kind of had that feel a little bit in New York. They wanted to come out of there with some wins, and they did that.
They certainly did, and you mentioned the overuse, if you will, of that bullpen, but it got the job done. Who do you expect on this Orioles pitching staff to be able to go deep in games? Is it going to be Alex Cobb when he comes back? Is Dylan Bundy going to be able to bounce back and give them more than 3 innings in the future?
Yeah, it's going to have to be. Andrew Castro, those 3 guys have to supply innings because with David Hesh, you hope, but he's still trying to establish himself, and then you've got the opener. Right now, Dave Carnes is not stretched out to give you, 4 innings, let alone, to get deep. So the other guys have to do it, and Bundy, hey, the good news, when he left the game, he had given up a run and only 2 hits. He had 7 strikeouts. Those 5 walks and 93 pitches and 3 2/3 were an issue. Walks were an issue with everybody, of course, and they're not going to be able to win games doing that. You have to make them earn it. I mean, Brandon Hyde stressing aggression, that includes on the mound. You got to go after hitters better. But, they need those 3 veteran starters to supply the innings, and then you kind of mix and match from there and try and piece it together.
Rock, the offense certainly backed that pitching, especially the bullpen. What did you see from some of the new guys, including Dwight Smith Jr., Jesus Sucre? Those guys both had good starts to the season.
Well, Sucre lived up to his reputation as all offense, no defense. Oh, no, wait, that's the other way around.
Yeah.
That was a little bizarre there, but, you should be able to hit a little bit. He's not an automatic out. There's some things you see behind the plate that you realize, that's why they like this guy so much. But it certainly wasn't his strongest outing. We had he had the pass ball. He's better than that. If there was a wild pitch, he definitely should have stopped it. But I still can see why he's going to be able to help the staff. And Dwight Smith, first of all, just the plus defense in left field. He made a couple plays look much easier than they were. He could hit a little bit. The speed is top the order. I mean, they like having, Richie Martin in the 9th spot being like a second leadoff guy. Then whether it's Mullins or BR, Smith, those guys that can manufacture runs, which they're going to have to do. They can't count on hitting 3 home runs every game. So those guys jumped out for sure. And Means relatively new, even though we saw him before. But, there's a guy that I gave zero chance to make the club when spring training started. He basically admitted that as well. He wasn't expecting to be around past the first round of cuts. And here he is now, maybe a key member of that bullpen. But, so they're, and I think Martin, again, you want him to be able to hit a little bit, but more than anything, they're stressing to him, look, just give us good defense. And Buck used to say that. That will keep you in the lineup. You play defense for us. And that's what he's doing so far.
You can read all of Rockabaco's stories on MASNsports.com. Plenty of good storylines abound in this first opening weekend from the Bronx. Rock, thank you so much.
Hey, my pleasure. Thanks, guys.
Great stuff from Rockabaco, as always. Don't forget, we got a game tonight as well. The Orioles open their series against the Blue Jays. David Hess on the mound for the second time this season. He's making his first start, but he did pitch 2 scoreless innings on opening day last year, coming off a 3-10 season with an ERA just under 5. And then Sean Reed-Foley, he gets the ball for the Blue Jays. He's a 23-year-old righty, and he's getting the ball in place of Clayton Richard, who was just shut down for about 2 weeks with a knee issue for the Blue Jays. So Hess versus Reed-Foley tonight on MASN. The first pitch is coming just after 7 o'clock, and O's Extra pregame, of course, starts half an hour before 6:30 p.m. Tune into MASN for Orioles and Blue Jays. They're 2-1 right now, and they're looking to go 3-1 and increase that winning streak to 3 games. I'm Paul Mancano. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to MASN All Access. Tune into the game tonight, O's and Blue Jays.